What's up, folks? We are live. Thank you for joining me. Sorry, I know I'm a little bit late, but probably won't be a long stream tonight. Just gonna go over a little bit of an update and just some things that I wanted to just kind of discuss here. If you see the title of the video, we can see that apparently H2O Delirious' girlfriend has said that she's going to be making a video soon addressing his suspension and get to the truth of why it was he was suspended. So we can only speculate as to what that will be or what that will entail, what she will say, what she'll show. If she'll show anything is anyone's guess. But for those of you that missed it, we'll go over what she said. But I also want to go over some things that I think parallel a little bit with this situation. And I'll explain all that as I go through all this. So we're going to go right into her tweets, but then we're also going to go into some stuff from a couple months back. So bear with me here. So here we have, this is what she put on today. Okay. This is what we, okay. So let's look this over here real quick. So it says, she tweeted this out around 4 o'clock today. And as we see here, it says, I didn't want to waste any more time or thought on this nonsense, but here we are, video coming soon on who this liar is, her history as a groupie, and why what she did and is currently doing is so disgusting. Plus, I'll share the actual truth on why Delirious' Twitter suspended. So obviously, to me, the most interesting part was the second part, the truth on why his suspension was, or why his account was suspended. But also what she's saying here, I think this is interesting because she's showing a screenshot of a tweet that is 6 years old at this point, right? If you see here, the tweet is from 2015. It says, I'm 20 now, but I'm watching Pokemon and eating cereal. Now, if you go to this account, I'll show you guys this real quick. His account is Vixen Rex. Never heard of this person. Like I said, and nobody should bother anybody that I'll be covering here tonight at all. We're just going over this stuff, but I want to show you guys this in case nobody did follow up on this. I want to show you this. So as we see here, this Vixen Rex person, as you can see, their account is on lockdown. Tweets are protected. Don't know what they're about. Don't know what they've been saying. Don't know why Liz decided to single her out, and what is her involvement in any of this. So and like I said, and why she specifically decided to choose to share a 6-year-old tweet at this point, and what that has to do with anything. But seems a little bit like a distraction. But who knows? Maybe we'll actually get some answers with what Liz has to say. But going back to it here, she says, sick of dealing with the lies, so I took the initiative to hunt down and find out everything, and will lay it all out, the good, the bad, and the ugly on everyone involved, all sides. I don't have energy for any more of this crap, so this video will be the last I will speak of it. So obviously, I think that one of the things that is going to come back up is this, and this is what I really kind of wanted to key in on here real quick, is this is something that Ohm had shared, and it's still up for those of you that want to see it for yourselves, right? Was this tweet that Ohm had shared, right? A man who has admitted to have engaged. Now, this was back in May, when all this was kicking off, right? A man who admitted to having engaged Besov with underage 17-year-old girl tries to come at me with personal attacks with the whole group defending the situation instead of standing against it, tries to call me a cheater, yet a girl just reached out with this. So if you guys remember this was the this was one of the girls that I guess was, now this is not one of the ones that almost claimed to be underage or anything like that. This is apparently a person of age that was consensually sharing, themselves, was sharing pictures of themselves with Delirious, no funny business. I guess he asked and he received, and she complied with those things, right? so this is a person, I guess, who had contacted Ohm. So she had said he basically used his platform to get news from me. And when we talked, I would try to change the subject, but he kept bringing it back to my OnlyFans. I sent him pics and stuff because he was my favorite YouTuber. I wanted to impress him. I then found out he had a girlfriend around the time that all this had happened, when he and his girlfriend conceived their child. After I found out about her, he ghosted me. When I finally found out who she was, I reached out to her. She said that he had lied about the situation to her, saying I was a crazy person trying to get clout by getting him in trouble. He lied and told her that it happened before they got together and showed her the timestamps and the messages as proof. She asked me not to say anything because he didn't want to get made fun of or hurt for what he did. She was pregnant, so I kept quiet because I didn't want to hurt her. But after this, I had to say something because now he's being accused of doing the same stuff to minors. So long story short, he cheated on his girlfriend around the time she got pregnant, then lied and said I was a crazy person just trying to get clout off of getting him in trouble. So you see she shared the screenshot. I want to see this surprise. Ask nicely, please. And I guess she sent him a picture. I can't believe I'm sending this to you. I see F. This is a good one, like you said. And then this is, I guess, when she had asked him, right? I feel like I should ask this since I kind of sent you pictures, but are you seeing anyone? I just don't want to cause you any problems like that, because I guess at this point, she became aware of the fact that, Liz and Delirious they have a pretty public, it's pretty public knowledge that they have a relationship. So I guess she finally caught on to that. Maybe she knew all along. There's no way to know, right, in these situations. But she says, yes, I am. She's here with me now. Oh, I feel bad now. You are too, right? I assumed you are. Seeing you had a kid, or am I wrong? Well, don't feel bad. She does the same thing as OF. So the same thing as OnlyFans. So of course, this is something that was brought up. And if you all remember, I believe there's a point where Liz and Delirious had publicly responded to this, and she had said that this girl was basically clout chasing, right? That it was all for OnlyFans stuff, whatever. It's a ridiculous situation. But I find it interesting that if you think about this, right? This is something that happened with somebody that, again, this was a consenting thing that happened. This girl is of age. She sent Delirious her pictures willingly, it seems like. So I don't see anything wrong here, right? I guess if you want to make the moral argument that the wrong in the situation is the fact that he was already in a relationship, I guess, I mean, you could make that argument, but that's about it, right? Nothing illegal happened in this situation. But what I find interesting about this, again, and we'll go back to this part here, is that she is focusing on something here, or she showed something here that, right, this tweet that is like 6 years old. It's an innocuous tweet, doesn't really mean anything, right? And I don't know what this Vixen Rex person has said or done, or is saying publicly in regards, maybe there's something that happened here, right, between this girl and Delirious. Now, if something happened back in 2015 between this girl and Delirious, this girl said she was 20 at that time. So, of course, nothing, right? There would be nothing wrong there. There would be nothing illegal there, right? But what's interesting is that, again, this happened in 2015, and to the best of my knowledge, and I could be completely wrong about this, Liz didn't start having a relationship with Delirious until, I believe, 2018, roughly. It's possible they could have been friends before then, but seemingly this would be, if this was somebody that Delirious was involved in, this was somebody that he was involved with, 6 years ago. So what does this really have to do with her? Why would she address this, this person now, right? Unless they're, I guess, saying stuff. And as she says here, she's talking about she's going to lay everything out. So I assume that the person before, right, that Oma had tweeted about, that person, I believe their name was Mystery Fox, but I don't believe they're on social media anymore. I don't believe they're on Twitter anymore. If they are, they're also on lockdown. But that was a situation that was brought up, and as we know, Liz went at her, calling her, nothing but a clout chaser and stuff like that. even though it seemed like the situation was what it appeared to be. That Delirious was talking to that girl. He was getting pictures from that girl. And again, nothing illegal happening, but it was all happening pretty consensually. And then it turned into this thing, some bizarre thing of somehow this girl was now clout chasing. So this is, this just seems like it's going to be just a huge distraction from everything. I don't, like I said, look, she could end up making a video where she reveals exactly why and actually shows an email why Delirious is suspended. She could. Do I think that that's going to happen? I'd have to see it to believe it. I'm thinking probably not. But hey, look, I could be completely wrong. She might bring some receipts when she puts out her video. I don't know when she intends to put out her video. She hasn't said. But it's just it's all very strange the way everything is playing out with this. Zombie Fox for 10, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. I've been looking back at some of the interviews. The girl Sarah was supposedly was sending images in 2015, so maybe this is her. I have no clue. But she was somewhere in the UK, I think. No, this is not. This here. Let me go back to it. This girl that Ohm was referring to is not the girl that he interviewed. Is not Sarah. This is a different girl. This is a girl, I believe, named. Her name was Mystery Fox. This one, the one that he brought up here, this girl was Mystery Fox. She's the one that got into a bit of a public spat, and Liz was saying that, you know, she was nothing more than a clout chaser. Like, and the girl did, from my, if memory serves correct, I can't find it now because I believe this girl deleted her account, but she, I believe, did show the DMs between her and Liz. So it was, at least at that point in time, it seemed to be verified. We have Crow coming in. What's up, Crow? What's up, buddy?
Hey, so like I was looking at this and I'm going, wait, isn't that the girl? Right? I was going, no way. I'm looking at this message where it goes like, I'm 20, and I'm like, oh, you motherfucker.
Well, this is
motherfucker.
Well, the thing is, all right, hold on. Let me go back to this real quick. Let me go back to this. So this girl, right? Like I said, this right here, what she's saying here, like this happened back this was from 2015. Like I said, I just find it odd that she's bringing this Vixen Rex girl into it, unless this girl is actively involving herself in whatever's happening right now with Delirious. I don't even see the point of addressing this girl particularly, because if, you know, she's using an old tweet, maybe this girl was involved with her back then. Maybe she was involved with Delirious recently.
Well, I think we have to wait and see, only because she also mentions Delirious's Twitter being suspended. Correct. In relation to this girl here.
Well, so, she says, plus I'll share the actual truth on why Delirious' Twitter suspended. So I don't think that they're necessarily tied together. I think
that's what I'm wondering, if the stories are related in some way, in the sense that she's gotten this information from the same source, right?
Yeah. But look at what she says here. But here we are, video coming soon on who this liar is, her history as a groupie, and why what she did is currently doing is so disgusting. So it's just like, so what has this person been doing? Because this is the first time I've heard of this Vixen Rex person.
I thought that she was one of the girls that was speaking out against Delirious.
No, that's the thing. I don't recall somebody named Vixen Rex speaking out against Delirious. Now maybe she's one of the people that's been doing it behind the scenes. The only other girl that I know of that spoke out publicly was the one girl that had shared nudes with Delirious, that being the girl Mystery Fox, you know, who has an OnlyFans account. Now that's the only girl that I know of age, right? That says she was of age, and she consensually was sharing her nude photos with Sen's here.
Okay, can you really give consent these days, though?
Yes.
Well, look here, right here.
I don't think you can send.
Well, however you want to look at it, I guess. But here, let me show you. So,
how's it going, Crow? I missed you. Good. It's been like 2 days, dude. Fuck, you know.
It's been 2 days.
You know, I have a little bit of a cold. Holy shit, though! And I'm going to be talking about it tonight. This whole fucking Rittenhouse trial. Like, I didn't know this, but apparently, like, the FBI has this videotape from that night following everybody because they're doing aerial surveillance. And apparently they did a supercut with other videos.
Don't disclose details. You gotta save it for your stream.
Okay, I'm not, but like I'm watching the video and I'm going, dude was trying to ambush the kid. Like you can literally see where he goes and hides behind a vehicle. And then as soon as the kid rolls up, this motherfucker runs out from behind the car and just starts chasing him. I'm like, come on. it's fucking right there.
Yeah.
And I've got I like, dude, it's nuts. And the FBI has been holding this tape for over a year. Well, right? For over a fucking year.
It's about what fits the narrative. You know this, Crow. It's about what fits the narrative.
This is dirty fucking
keep
cool. Okay, sorry.
Keep it.
Oh, John, real quick, I wasn't able to tell you this.
Change the topic.
Check your Twitter DMs when you can, because somebody told me that they had a friend that needed to talk to you about the suspended accounts in the H2O case.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, the DMs are open, so anybody that's got it, they can just hit me up. I checked. There's nothing there. I just checked right now. There's nothing. But let me. This is what I was telling you about, Crow. This is the girl. This was, I believe, this was Mystery Fox, right? You see the DM that she shared.
What the fuck?
Yeah, she says, "I want to see the surprise." She said, "Ask nicely," and she says, "Please." And she sent him. You see here, she did send him something, and she admitted to the fact that she did send Delirious pictures of herself. Delirious. And that she also, so
he reminds me so much of myself. I love it.
Wait, send real quick. This girl was of age though at the time, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the girl.
Mystery Fox. Yeah. Mystery Fox isn't trying. Mystery Fox didn't try to come out and say that, hey, she's of age and all that stuff. She just brought this, I guess she brought it to Ohm at the time because she saw the stuff that Delirious is being accused of, and that's why. See, she says it right here. I feel like I should ask this since I kind of sent you pictures, but are you seeing anyone? And he was like, yeah. And she said, I feel bad now. And this was the girl that basically hit up Liz. They hit up Liz Katz and told her, like, hey, I'm sorry. I didn't know that you and him were together. And she was like, oh, thanks for bringing this. Like Liz was like, thanks for bringing this to my attention and whatever. And then she, I guess, tried to say that this girl was a clout chaser and stuff like that. Then she like flipped it on her at some point.
Yeah, the character attacks, right?
Yeah, she was just saying, oh, this girl's just a clout chaser or something like that. And I wish I could find that now. But those were tweets that were put out there. But
ad homs, like, good old ad homs. I love it.
Yeah, but she put this out today, and like I said, I noticed that it's she's putting this kind of just innocuous tweet. Like I said, I don't know anything about Vixen Rex. If there's anybody in chat that knows anything about Vixen Rex, I would love to know, because this is the first time I've heard of Vixen Rex. I don't know if she has said something publicly about Delirious at all, or if she's planning something behind the scenes and she got wind of it. This cat's got wind of it, and that's why she's already saying her history as a groupie, which is kind of funny, because like I said, there's anybody can make that argument for anybody that's gone after anybody or anybody that is currently with somebody, right? If they wanted to. But she also said, I'll share the actual truth on why Delirious' Twitter suspended. And, of course.
Oh, so she's coming out with the truth now, huh?
That's what she's saying, but I don't, I mean.
You don't believe her. You're not inclined to believe her.
Well, the thing is, look, she might bring actual receipts. Maybe she does. Maybe she subverts everyone's expectations and she brings actual receipts of what she's talking about. But if you go to her channel, right? Like, let's go to Liz's channel real quick. I want to show you, see? Like I'm sure that she had mentioned at some point that she was seeing Delirious. Now, this is her channel.
Yeah. It's great content, by the way.
She's been with him for, I think, at least they've been with each other, I think, since at least 2018. I think it's safe to assume, because they have a soon to be 1-year-old together, and she's pregnant with his second kid. Yeah. So she doesn't mention him in any of these videos here, right? That I can see. Maybe she did, but I'm just saying in the titles. I mean, the first one that you see that's mentioned is this one, which is a year old.
I got close with H2O Delirious.
But she had already let, I think, the cat out of the bag prior to any of this stuff, at least on Twitter. their
Oh
public
my
interactions.
goodness.
So,
Oh my goodness.
so the thing is, like I said, I'm wondering how far back she's going to go into however many girls, Delirious has talked to or gotten pictures from, because she's saying that she's going to go after all of them. I'm going to get them all. That's what she said in a follow-up tweet. She said, sick of dealing. Hold on. I'll just show it because I think you guys missed that. So I'll show it for you guys to see. But,
John, did you get that $10 super chat by Zombie Fox?
yeah, I did. Zombie Fox is coming through as always. Appreciate it. She says, sick of dealing with the lies. I took the initiative to hunt down and find out everything, and we'll lay it all out. The good, the bad, and the ugly on everyone involved, all sides. I don't have energy for any more of this crap. So this video will be the last I speak of it. So I'm guessing that they're going to resurrect the whole Mystery Fox thing. And it's going to be I assume, and I only assume this because it's the only thing I've seen so far, and I'm trying to be fair. We'll wait till the video to make the final judgment. But all I've seen in regards to anything regarding legitimate proof, right? When asked for proof, the only thing I've seen is deflection. The only thing I've seen is character attacks from Delirious. I'm not saying that Liz is going to do the same thing, but I would expect that it's probably, if it's anything, it's anything like Delirious.
Look, man, I don't think that the baby mama has any reason to lie.
I guess we'll wait. We'll have to wait and see.
We'll wait and see, right?
We'll wait and see. But the thing is, what makes me think that it's not going to be too much different is just from the way they approached the Mystery Fox situation, the way that she just went straight to telling that girl, "Oh, you're just a clout chaser," and blah blah blah, and it was. Delirious she switched it completely. It's just like, look, you could cop to the fact that Delirious was talking to her behind your back and that, it bothered you or whatever. And, what I'm saying? Like, it just sounded very ridiculous the way she addressed it with saying
Liz
like,
yeah. Well, it was in hindsight. Well, looking back at it, it was kind of bad how Delirious addressed it too, honestly.
Yeah, it was. And it's just kind of like, look, you got caught slipping, son. You were talking to this girl behind the scenes. It is what it is. Whatever. You know what I mean? Just own it and move on. It's like, yeah, I was talking to her, so what? You know what I mean? Yeah, I was getting pictures from her, so what? I didn't actually do any. He could have turned it into, I didn't actually do anything with her, though.
Well, he has a decent defense. He's like, well, my wife does fucking OnlyFans, so.
Well, then that's the other thing, too. That's what I'm thinking, too. And that's what he said in his message to the Mystery Fox girl. He was just like, well, hey, look, my wife does the same thing. She does OnlyFans, so it's no big deal. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, my wife also does OF, so whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, she does it. A lot of guys get to see her naked. So, I mean, I think I have a right to see any girl I want naked because she's showing her goods,
And I mean, not only OnlyFans, but if you want to go back to her old porn videos too.
Yeah, this is Nova says H2O is an F boy. I mean, would you say so? Would you
that's probably why I was so inclined to like side with him at first, because the relatability factor was like astronomical. It's like, oh my god, this guy's me, like a successful version of me. Except I wouldn't date an OnlyFans chick. Personally.
See, but my thing with that is if he is like, honestly, if that's what it is, right? If he's just an internet fuckboy, own it. You know what I mean? Like, who cares? Like, because honestly, most people won't really care. They just won't. Yeah. They won't. They'll be like, some people will be like, oh, that's really shitty because you're with somebody. But then he, like I said, he could always default to fact, like, well, I mean, she's got an OnlyFans. You know what I mean?
He doesn't act like Ohm. So that's good. Because Ohm couldn't get away with that shit because he does this whole grandstand for the women and for the victims thing. So for him to do it.
It would never work for Ohm. It could never work for Ohm because Ohm is like the anti this person.
Yeah.
That's how he's presenting himself, at least.
Yeah, like I mean, like I get what you're saying. I'm really curious because it seems like a totally random person, right? But again, I'm wondering: is this one of the girls? Is this somebody who put out one of the anonymous claims that, or put it out under a different name, and she's planning on exposing her? But again, if Liz does that. Right. And she doesn't actually address anything the girl is claiming, then it looks it's not a good look, right?
Well, the thing is, like I said, I think it's going to be history repeating itself because we already saw this with Mystery Fox, right? Like as soon as she started blasting Mystery Fox and Delirious kind of got involved with that, Mystery Fox, like she jettisoned. Like I believe she, I think she locked down her account. I don't think she came back. I think there's another Mystery Fox account that I think this might be. Oh no, yeah, she did lock down her account. It's still, I believe this is her right here. Yeah, let me show you. She locked it down, and it's the same thing with this other girl. This other girl that she shared the thing about. See, look, this is Mystery Fox, right?
Yeah.
Lockdown, and she went into lockdown, I believe, after the whole thing with Delirious and Liz when they're trying to say, oh, she's just a clout chaser and stuff like that. Now this other girl's on lockdown, so it's just like, damn, are we gonna get any answers from anybody? But I mean, I don't blame them. I mean, it seems like they're doing it to protect themselves, but it's just, it seems like that's the plan, right? It's just like by kind of painting a little bit of a target on them and calling them out publicly, it's almost like they're setting up a little bit of that defense for themselves.
Look, I can understand if he's actually innocent, right? The desire to go after the people making the accusations, but you actually have to address what those people are saying. And he's not really, neither of them are doing that. They're instead, attacking their character. I mean, it looks, if you're being honest about it, it looks very suspicious, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Because I'm not saying anything either way. I don't know. I mean, maybe this girl is this girl, right? The one that she recently called out. Maybe she is doing some gay ops behind the scenes, and is trying to, launch an attack against Delirious, and she
Who
caught
is
wind
this?
of it.
What the fuck?
Wait, are you talking about the girl in that Liz called out?
Which one are you talking about, Sen?
This one, Vixen. She's the
Okay.
She's the one that was recently called out.
Right? Yeah, but nobody really knows who she is because
by Liz, right?
Yes.
Yeah, like she's not.
She's gonna dress this girl and apparently some other ones tomorrow. Like I said, I've never heard of this Vixen Rex girl. I heard of the Mystery Fox girl because even Ohm and Delirious and Liz were interacting and talking about her situation a couple months back. But this person I have no clue about. Today was
does it seem kind of odd for her to be putting this out now?
Who Liz?
Yeah.
It does. The timing of it, again, because I don't know if it's, again, we can only speculate, right? We can only speculate as to why she decided to call this girl out. Now, like I said, maybe she got wind that, maybe she got some credible information by somebody that said that told her, hey, this girl is planning to attack your man or is planning to attack you using XYZ thing, as their primary evidence of whatever wrongdoing, right?
Yeah.
But again, also when you think about the fact that nothing has been addressed with the Delirious stuff, it seems like it could also be a distraction. It's certainly within the realm of possibility, right? I'm just saying, I'm not saying it is, but I'm just saying that, but what's interesting though, is how she also said, and I'm also going to address his Twitter suspension. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Look, I
kind of two interesting things to couple together there, right? Very.
Yeah. Look, we actually have to wait and see what she has to say. Mm-hmm. But recently the statements from her and from Delirious, like again, they don't make them look good.
John, Zombie Fox said that his super chat was. You say that?
Yeah. He's saying, yeah, John, the super chat was suggesting the girl given the name Sarah is possibly Vixen because of reasons in the Sarah interview. I get what you're saying. Maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe it is her. It does. What is interesting is it does say Ireland, and I do believe that the girl named Sarah is from Ireland. But again, there's no way to know for sure. That's speculation. And honestly, if she is or isn't, nobody should be messaging her or saying anything to her. Obviously don't don't hit her up and ask her if she's Sarah or anything like that. Because even if she was quote unquote Sarah, I doubt that she would admit it, right?
Yeah.
She's not gonna tell people, yeah, I'm Sarah from the second interview that
I mean, she might, but she would have to be incredibly stupid.
Yeah, it would be stupid for her to do so, but exactly. I mean, she's not gonna send a voice message for anybody to confirm that, right? I mean, it would be dumb for her to do so, and or maybe maybe it is, and maybe this was Liz's way of outing her. I don't know.
But I mean, I guess the best way of putting it is, again, we have to see what she actually has to say. Yeah. I'm very suspicious though of her and Delirious. And I would just want them to be able to back up something that they're actually claiming. Again, being suspicious, I mean, it doesn't mean I actually can prove that anyone has done anything, to be clear. But it is weird. It's very weird. It's very suspicious. The behavior, I could understand why people would be looking at them and going, this feels wrong. Because I'm looking at them going it feels kind of wrong.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at what we have so far, and look, and I'm just being completely transparent here. I have, and you guys know this too. Delirious emailed me, after the whole when him and Ohm were in my chat. He did email me. I did ask
John,
him.
I have something from a mutual friend of ours that he wants me to give you.
Yeah, sure.
Here's private chat.
Yeah, but I did talk to him. All right, I did talk to Delirious. I did ask him for proof. As of yet, to this point now, he has not sent me anything. He has not sent me any proof of anything. I'm just putting that out there. That's not to say that he doesn't have it. Maybe he's going through legal channels to do his, figure out what he's got to figure out. Maybe he can't. I don't know. I have no clue whatsoever. But take that for what it's worth. I did ask him for proof. I said, hey man, what would really help is if you just showed a screenshot of the email you received, because if it is due to spam, I would assume you received an email saying as much. So maybe you could clear the air. You could put it out there that, hey, this is the reason they're telling me I got suspended and I'm going to get my account back at whatever days. Because correct me if I'm wrong here, either one of you, Twitter does 7-day suspensions, and they do 12-day suspensions, right?
No clue.
They do. I think it's the first one's a 24-hour, I believe, and then I believe it's 72 and then a week. I could be wrong.
Yeah. Oh, this is a good point by Exile. Liz will defend Delirious. Well, of course. Yeah, of course she would. It wouldn't be crazy to suggest she could also be lying to cover for him. Yeah. I mean, look, it's all within the realm of possibility. And like I've said from day one, look, I'm not on either side. I'm not on Ohm's side. I'm not on Delirious' side. Whatever the truth is what I want to know, even if it's ugly, right?
Hell yeah.
I mean, that's the right way of doing it, because the thing is, the worst thing that you can be doing is defending somebody who's being accused of some heinous shit, right? And you're ignoring, you're ignoring fucking evidence like that.
John,
that's the worst.
Yeah, I see. John, I see what you sent me.
Yeah,
I'm looking it over now. I'm just making sure that it's appropriate to show on stream before I share screen for it. Okay, so this is the Mystery Fox stuff from a couple months back. Thank you for this, and whoever our mutual friend. Yes, tell him thank you for that. So here we go. This is the Mystery Fox stuff, right? This is a person that was sending their stuff. Now, this is the way they spun it, okay? Promo at the time from the account, and she's shocked and uncomfortable. She was asked for nudes when she publicly offered free ones. She wouldn't bother any other guy who did this, but because she is now trying to do YouTube and Ohm reached out, she's trying to get what she can. So they try to flip it and say that, she was basically clout chasing, right? And these are, I guess, some of the examples that Liz had offered up to make her case on it, right? So this is the last I'm going to post on this house. She thought she could get something out of nonsense, but instead she just exposed herself as a desperate phony who was played by Ohm. And this is, I guess, something the Mystery Fox had put out. I'm really curious as to what causes people to blow up and become popular out of nowhere. Is there some secret? And I have yet to discover, or is it just because of pure luck? I don't think that really proves anything. Honestly, I think that's just her saying that I may go back to recording videos instead of streaming. I hate editing, but I get way less views. I think it's just her. I mean, again, just trying to find her way, I guess, to become successful, not necessarily by trying to, clout chase the situation. It says, Omrecker, please DM me. I think you already know what it's about, but please just share. So this is obviously, when Om shared those DMs, this was what prompted that. So wrong as a content creator or human being in general, please don't be afraid to call me out so I can own up to it. I try my best to be honest with who I am. I know I have a lot of work to do. I just want to be the best person I can. Again, I don't see what this really proves, right? The Sims community doesn't care for evidence. All they care about is drama. So I want to get more into the streaming gaming community and less in the Sims community. I've made some amazing friends, but the Sims community is just way too toxic for me. I need less drama right now while I deal with my heart issues. So take that for whatever. I mean, look, there is always something to gain. And it is possible that, she was trying to jump on the bandwagon, right? Because her situation with Delirious is not really, it's not a big deal. It isn't. Most people look at that objectively and say, well, everything there was done with consent. There wasn't, there wasn't any kind of, anything
you
illegal.
Are giving people way too much credit.
Anything illegal happening there. So it's just like, to me, it's whatever. Yeah, maybe she saw an opportunity to jump on the bandwagon because of, all that.
Hold on. Is Sen still here?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
Wait, hey, Sen, do you remember that totally legal relationship that everybody blew up between Keemstar and a 20-year-old?
Yeah. What about it?
Well, I'm just people are stupid, right?
Of course.
Yeah. So I mean, look, people, you can say her situation isn't a big deal. But when you're talking about someone that's as large as Delirious, anything is a big deal.
Anything can be.
And anything is a big deal with these people.
Yeah.
If you're a public figure and you're notable, of course.
Yeah.
That's just a given.
Again, that's the thing. There is always something to gain in a situation like this. Even the people that try to say, there's nothing for me to gain from this, but.
I mean, if you want an example, even like a channel like Steve who only has like 2,000 is like they fucking go at him too, just because he's not your average Canadian. Let's just say that
he's a lightning rod.
He's notable.
He's a lightning rod. Yeah,
covers a lot. He makes good videos too.
So I mean, look, we look at Delirious. Obviously, we look at the guy's channel. The guy's what? 13 million subs, 13.3 million subs. Merge, got a big TikTok following, got a lot of
money.
Twitter.
A lot of money.
Yes, no doubt is a millionaire. There's always something to gain. I mean, even if it's just sympathy,
fucking
the situation.
Jesus.
Yeah, attention, sympathy. I mean,
that's a lot to lose if you think about it too. Poor guy. Poor guy.
Well, okay, wasn't there a Twitter account that recently, just randomly puts out this statement accusing somebody of grooming them when they're 13, and then a day later says that it's all just a joke?
Yeah, that was the whole situation with, I guess, Bad Boy, somebody named Bad Boy Halo.
Oh, in the Halo community.
Yeah, that was right? Bad Boy Halo. Okay. Yeah, somebody was saying that, and then they said it was all just a big troll. And the thing is, and stuff like that. That's what I mean. It's just it happens a lot, and it needs to be vetted properly.
I mean, the idea that people say, well, there's nothing to gain. Why would someone make that? I mean, come on. At this point, if you have to ask that fucking question, nobody can help you. You are fundamentally retarded, and society cannot tolerate.
Well, again. Even with, we talked about it recently too, right? The situation with Assman, right? These girls that are coming out talking about it, and the one girl even acknowledged, she's like, by me talking about it online, I know that I've probably given him a chance to kind of get away. It's like, yeah,
that usually happens.
Yeah, you did, and it's just because you tipped them off essentially, and not just that, it's again. The best awareness you could bring is to people that can actually do something. For
example, when you're hunting someone, you don't fucking shoot a bullet in the air to scare off the antler or deer or whatever.
You're not
you
gonna
don't
find a running track.
they'll be like, oh shit, the next one's probably gonna kill me. I better
you
get the
don't
fuck
go
out
out
of
and
here.
announce your presence.
Yeah. Like Jesus Christ.
And the thing is, the girl, like I said, at least the girl was self-aware enough to be like, yeah, I probably, probably nothing's gonna happen because of me, but I'm gonna do it anyways, which is fine. I mean, I guess look, people can do what they want, but the thing is, with that situation again, look, if you want actual justice and you want to really bring awareness to a situation, bring awareness to somebody that could actually potentially do something about it, not fucking the internet. Do that first. And if that doesn't work and you've tried everything else that you could possibly try and that doesn't work, then I understand if your last recourse is, okay, I want to tell somebody, I have to get it out there because I've gone to the police, I've gone to this person, that person, I've gone to my local news station. They don't want to do anything. This is the only thing left for me now. I filed police reports, nothing's happened. This guy's still out there, he's still doing damage. So I'm going to take it to the internet. I understand if that's all.
Internet should be your last resort, basically.
Exactly. It really should, because again, this guy was Assman. Yeah, he's gone. And he is probably going to get away with it. You know what I mean? Chances of him ever facing justice, are pretty slim now.
Yeah.
So
I think, for a lot of people, though, they have it in their minds that the police aren't going to listen to them, right?
Yes.
And, I look at that and I say, you're stupid, right? Because, you talk about, like, someone doing things to children, right? Like, they do take that very seriously. But, you have people online who are yelling at them and telling, nope, the cops aren't going to take it seriously. The police don't care. Your parents don't care. You've got to take it to fucking Twitter. I'm like, there's a logical fallacy going on there.
Yeah, people don't know until they try, and that's the problem. Like, people, here's the thing: even if, let's say, right, because it is possible that the police might not be able to do something about it, but at least if you get something on record, you start building a foundation for something.
I think the main issue is, I heard this before, and it's basically that, the way that our brains work, we focus more on the negatives than we do on the positives. Like, it sticks in our head a lot more. So, when they're going to do a story, right, talking about, rape or whatever, they're not going to give you the story about the girl that went to the cops and, she filed a report and the rapist got arrested and went to trial. They're not going to really talk about that. They're going to talk about the girl who says that she was horrified and she couldn't go to the police and nobody believed her. Even though cops do take it seriously when you go to them, right? Like, when they can do rape kits. There are ways of proving it if you call the police, especially like immediately after. But it's in people's heads that they're not supposed to do that. And instead what they do is they run to fucking social media. And I'm like, what does that actually do for anybody? We can talk about like all the fucking creeps and everything that we talked about.
Well, it does do some things, but it's not the thing that they're acting like they want to happen. Like, for example,
I don't
make it look like they want.
Well, they try to make it look canceled on fucking social media.
They try to make it look like they want the person to have like serious repercussions and shit like that. But the reality is, if you take this to social media, what's going to happen is, well, it depends on who takes it. So you're either going to look like a hero, and people are going to be like, "Oh man, I want to get behind this person." So clout and notoriety and all this shit, right? Or you're gonna get like a couple followers on Twitter, shit like that. That's why everybody always assumes, oh, this has to be a joke. Like, now there's no way this could be true, or they always second guess it, because that's all realistically you can get. Really,
the idea that you have a group of people standing behind you shouting for you, that would validate your what you're saying. We can point to plenty of examples. I think right now, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this. There's this case that the Innocence Project's been trying to get through, Julius Jones, and I think it's going to be going he's like going up for clemency now. But this motherfucker goes out to, like, these people are pulling out their house. He's looking to steal a Suburban, and he basically just walks up to the dad's side of the car, pops him in the head twice, doesn't say anything. Kids are in the vehicle with their aunt. Right? This is fucking brutal, right?
It's got dark.
No. Here's the thing, right? There's the witness testimony from the aunt, right? And the Innocence Project's out here like misrepresenting what her statement was of the shooter that she had seen. They had also done this documentary, which was heavily fucking biased, in which they hung it all around this idea that a cop had actually committed the murder or was planting evidence. And they wanted this DNA testing done on the scarf where they had found the murder weapon, right? Here's the thing. When they did the documentary, that hadn't happened. They did the DNA test. The DNA test points to Julius fucking Jones, right? Everything points to this guy.
Yeah.
And right now, because of fucking like Kim Kardashian and shit, and this big social media movement, people are insisting that this man is innocent, that the witness testimony points to somebody else, right? And none of it is true. Not a single damn thing is true. In fact, the guy, when he was in prison, put a fucking note out to his girlfriend in which he said that if she didn't, go on and say that he did nothing wrong, that, he wouldn't do anything, but his family's crazy, right? Yeah. This motherfucker threatened his girlfriend to lie, right? This is one of the most clear-cut fucking cases possible. You have DNA evidence. You have eyewitnesses. You have the motherfucker threatening a woman to lie. You have everything here. But there is a massive group of... There's a massive group
I know what you're
of very special people, very incredibly special people who are ignoring all of this, but they feel like fucking heroes as they try to get an actual fucking murderer set free. Again, people are very stupid. People are incredibly fucking stupid. Of course,
we know the agenda behind it, but look, let's get back to this though, because I want to address what Johnny is saying here in the chat. Let me say it. It's like going off the law. Lawyers can't be charged with it anyways, as all the accusations are far too aged up. Okay. The other thing, honestly, look, that I would say that he could get dinged on if that's if he was stupid enough to keep any of the alleged, pictures that people have said that he has received.
No.
You know what I mean?
Delirious?
If he kept any photos of anybody underage, statute of limitations wouldn't matter there because you'd be in possession. You technically would be in possession of CP.
I mean, at this point, right? I mean, at this point, with how much time he has had.
Oh yeah, I don't think they're gonna find anything personally. Yeah, the chances of them finding anything, even if anything was subpoenaed, the chances of them finding anything, anything that's substantial enough to do anything with, I doubt it. Yeah, I doubt they would find anything at this point. I mean, like I said, he has so much of a head start on stuff. I doubt that they would find anything, but look, it's always possible. You never know. I mean, he could be a complete moron and decided to keep the stuff. I mean, dumber things
that
would
happen,
be
right?
bad. We've seen a lot of people slip up and do really
that'd be a little bit worse. Well, right? Okay, it would be bad for him, but in truth, if he's a pedo and he's keeping evidence, as much as I find it disgusting, I mean, it'd be a good thing that you'd be able to prove it.
But that's the thing. He knows the. I mean, I would think if he has any kind of sense at all, and he had anything that's even questionable, right, in his possession, that it'd be long gone by now. But you never know.
This is why I kept saying, if you believe Delirious did something wrong, if you are someone who claims that Delirious did something wrong, you should have, from the very fucking beginning, demanded that Record disassociate himself from all of this and
Well,
from
like I
all
said,
of you.
everything just was from the beginning was done bad. And if it was a thing of, okay, hey, there is some, because we've heard it, right? We've heard it a ton of times already now. Oh, the police investigations are happening and stuff like that. Well, just let it all play out. Don't even talk about it. Let everything take its course. And when it's all said and done and the dust clears, if something does happen, you could point at it and say, boom, there it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that hasn't happened. It's just like, you know.
So I can ask you a question, John Crow. In your opinion, right? Given all this information, are you guys like, if for example, Omrecker, if all this shit is real, like, you know, the underage shit with Delirious and whatever, would you fault Omrecker for calling him like a pedophile, like pedolirious or whatever?
Yes.
I mean,
look. Okay,
I wouldn't.
No. Let me explain why. Right? It's not the fucking calling him a pedophile or anything like that. Right? I could totally understand if it is all real and he's seen the evidence, right? And he calls him a pedophile. I understand what you're saying. It's not just that. It's everything else that came with it, right? If this guy's like legitimately a pedo and legitimately a predator, Omrecker going out and announcing it repeatedly to the world, right? Without presenting actual evidence to back it up, all you've done is given this guy a ton, fuck ton of advance notice that there may be an investigation into him pretty soon.
That's the biggest issue with all this, right? Because there could be a lot of things that he's saying that are legitimately true, but the problem is it's the way everything has been handled, and the fact that they're putting out he's putting out there, hey, look, this is all true because of this, but nothing that's out there publicly right now.
Well, I mean,
prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that any of the claims are 100% true, right? Except, look, the only thing that we know, right, and this is the only thing that Delirious has copped to was the fact, yeah, I didn't know that girl was underage until after the fact when my friends told me because they were playing a really bad joke on me, and I was the victim in that situation. And it's just like, you know, could that be true? Yes. Could that not be true?
That's such a fucking weird, bizarre fucking joke for one to play.
I mean,
it's one of those things. There's just enough. Here's the crazy thing. Thing, though. The evidence, right, that's out there publicly does suggest that he knew Breland, but it's out there. He knew this girl prior to this interaction with her. That evidence does exist. It's out there. The tweets kind of prove that he had it. But here's the thing, though. They don't prove that he knew that she was underage. They only prove that he knew who she was. They don't prove that he knew that she was underage. And
I mean, like, the best way of putting it, son, is when we were dealing with somebody who, you know, we had very good reason to believe was a predator, right?
Well, it's the pyro shit. Like I said, remember.
Well, no. I'm not talking about the pyro shit. I'm talking about like when we had to deal with a predator that was, you know, hanging around our chats and everything.
Oh yeah, that person.
Yeah.
I know you're talking about now.
Yeah. Okay. So like we had somebody who also knew what was going on, going insane in our chats, right, and calling us out in the chats, and we couldn't do anything. Like we had to keep our mouth shut. And it was really like it was beyond fucking annoying, right? And this person's never fucking apologized, even though the entire time we couldn't say anything because we were filing a police report and we were told not to do anything that would spook the person. So I absolutely would. I absolutely 100% blame fucking Omrecker. If he knows this guy is a pedo, he knows he doesn't have all the evidence, but he's out there announcing it to the fucking world and letting this guy know that there's all these girls going to drop all this shit on him. So he has plenty of time to go cover his fucking tracks.
Better nuke everything before.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, like, you know, people go like, well, you know, they have software and they can get it again. It's motherfucker. If this guy's got like a hard drive full of fucking CP, right? And you've just told him all these girls are coming out with stories, and I'm going after your Twitter account, and I've got the police, and we're running investigations on you. Bro,
It's
just take that thing and throw it in your fireplace. Come on.
It really goes to show you like who the people really are, though, because look, the people that are gonna just out these guys out to the public, they're just looking for like public shame, obviously. You know,
no, Ohmwrecker is not doing it because he cares about these girls. Ohmwrecker hates the Vanoss crew and hates Delirious and hates Louis.
In his view, he believes now he's doing it. But the thing is, again, it doesn't come across that way because when you see certain messages like what Delirious shared, right, it definitely paints that picture of spite and like, hey man, these guys are picking on me. Come and defend me, man. If you don't defend me, well, then I'm going to be forced to defend myself, and I'm going to defend myself with that thing that you told me in confidence. You told me never to tell anybody else.
John. So you know what really fucks Ohmwrecker and these girls over? Those messages where Delirious is telling him not to put his story out there.
That's what I'm talking about.
Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. And you see how Ohmwrecker is behaving and how pissy he's getting and how upset and mad he is. Right? So
that's what reflects bad on him. Like I said, those are the messages that make him look
like Ohmwrecker is the type of person who will present a story against a person's wishes if it means it will benefit him. So like when these girls have their story and they want it like presented out and they want it believed, like why would I trust what they're telling me is true when they're working with a guy like Ohmwrecker? Like Ohmwrecker is willing to lie. He is. Ohmwrecker is willing to take somebody's story that they are not comfortable, putting out there and using it to get his own little petty vengeance, right? When you work with a guy like that, it makes it look like, you might have that same fucking mentality. I hate to say it, it is a little bit like guilt by association and everything. But unfortunately, it is how people look at things. That's why I kept saying, if you really do feel he's done something wrong, holy shit, why would you ever want a guy like Ohmwrecker involved in any of this?
But that's what I'm saying, because of the way everything was handled from the beginning. That's what really, and that's what's really that's always going to be the thing that's going to be held against him until he produces some kind of evidence, to the public that, again, unequivocally proves. And again, there's going to be those people that will look at it and scrutinize it, and they should, because, again, based on everything that's happened up till now, right? The way everything's been handled, they are going to question it. They are going to scrutinize it. But the thing is, if you give something, right, that is really hard to defend against, I mean, you will start to change people's mind. There will be people that look at it. There are people that are still objective and will look at that and say, you know what? Yeah, that's all right. Now the ball's in your court, Delirious. What do you have to refute this claim? What do you have that could put this to bed completely?
You know what sucks about Delirious? What he has is just about like a bunch of ad hom attacks, right? That's all he ever fucking does.
That's one of the big problems.
It's a deflect.
And that's the thing. People are starting to take more notice of that, and that's the issue now. Like I said, look, as far as everything goes right now, he still has the upper hand because of how things were handled with Ohm beforehand, how he mishandled everything beforehand. He still has that upper hand, but people are starting to notice that he keeps going to the deflection. He keeps saying, oh, my kids, my wife. It's just like, you ask him for something direct. They'll be like, oh, but Ohm is this really bad guy. It's like, okay, I get what you're saying. And you have shown stuff before in the past that shows his character, right? That shows Ohm's character, and that shows that he can be kind of manipulative himself, right? With the whole, hey, I'm going to tell your story. He's like, hey, don't tell my story. I forgave those guys. I'm over it. Please don't do that. I told you that in confidence, not for you to sit there and talk to other people about. I told you that's something that's deeply personal, whatever. And he's like, no, well, I want to tell people because I'm getting jumped here and you're not helping me. And I feel like this is the only way. And that made him look really bad, right? When Delirious shared that stuff. But the thing is, now we're at that point.
Well, I mean, look, I think that you're at the point where if fucking Delirious, right, back is completely against the wall, came out and accused Ohmwrecker of
Ohm
doing
has-
all of this for his own vengeance against him
But-
because he didn't let him use his story in the past, right?
This is what I'm
if
saying,
he
though.
did
Like,
that,
right?
like
Look,
there'll be
if he
people
has-
who believe
if
that
he has
Homewrecker is
something-
like working with these girls and they're making the whole thing up.
If he has something, right? If he has something that could, like I said, that is irrefutable. Bam, here it is. Look, here's the email that I received from Twitter that says 100%. You know, you guys can see it, read it for yourselves. It's, you know, I'm only going to redact the person that sent it to me or whatever, but it right here, it unequivocally shows that this account, his main account, was attached to these other accounts. It says it right there in writing that it's hard to disprove, right? Which again, supposedly we've heard that somebody has seen it, but again, we haven't seen it for ourselves.
You know, to Crow's point, it's like, I think that regardless of the situation, right, regardless of how this all plays out, at the end of the day, I don't think Delirious might be affected as much as Ohm thinks he would.
No, I don't think so either.
Like you saw, for example, you saw what happened with EDP. He still has supporters despite all, and
crazy,
that
right?
was fucking hell of this. Like, look at it was right in front of you.
It's
like he wanted to do shit with like a 13-year-old. It was right there. It wasn't even a joke, and people still supported him.
I honestly think though that the best way for Delirious to have handled the situation honestly was really to not say anything at all.
Well, he
shouldn't be popping into chats all the time.
He should not have been involved in this at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
He should just let things play out. Like, but then he came into chat. He's like, this, that, or the other. It's like, bro, you don't even need to be here saying this stuff. It's just like, unless you're gonna produce something, like, you don't, like, why? Like, I invite him on. I gotta go watch my kid, but I'm gonna stay in your chat for till the end of the stream. And it's just like, oh, okay. I mean, you could have a productive.
He uses that every time. Like, it's almost like he wants you to know that he is like a caring family man. Because that's another defense I always see, or that's what I always see whenever I hear Delirious in this situation. The first thing is, he's just trying to live life with his family. He loves his family. He's a family man, and it's like
fucking Gal from Street Fighter.
That's why another reason why I think that's why I also think that no matter what happens to him, people are gonna be like, oh, well, he just wants to be with his family, and this was all a fuck up in the past. And he has that guy, like that nice guy look, right? That nice guy presence because of like his character on the internet. And people will be like, oh, they'll give him a pass more so than like, your asshole, your typical asshole out there.
Yeah. And that's something, but he has, like I said, he still has the advantage in the situation. Like I said, I don't know. Maybe he does have an email that proves it. Maybe it's the same thing, right? That it's because it's a private communication. He can't between him and somebody high up at Twitter, and he can't show it. Whatever. I don't know, but it would definitely go a long way, right? If he just said, "Boom, right here. You can see the reason right here. I have the email that says spam. Boom," and that's it. That's all he would have to do. That's all he would have to do. If it looks legitimate enough, it doesn't look like it's been photoshopped or whatever. I mean, that's all he'd have to do. Hell, I would even go as far as to say he probably could Photoshop one and people would believe it, right?
Oh yeah, no, I was thinking the same thing.
He probably could Photoshop a fake email from Twitter and be like, boom, right there.
Yeah, people would be okay with it, and they'll be
right.
Like, yeah, even the ones that could figure out that it was Photoshop will run with it and pretend like, no, this is legit. And shit.
Yeah, exactly. He could probably still pull.
That's how much they love him, right? That's how much like.
Yeah, but that's the thing. But like I said, that's how much of a disadvantage like Ohm is at. Like I said, if there's any truth to what he's saying, because to your point, what you were saying earlier, Crow, right, with the whole thing with Ohm, right? Like what really kind of messed him up was the whole thing with the Louis girls, right? And people can look at the situation right now with all these other girls and they can equate them. Now there are differences for sure, because you've seen the way that Delirious has reacted to each one of these, as opposed to how Louis reacted to him, right? Yeah. And not just that, with the evidence that's out there, it's just like, okay, some of this, because admittedly, I looked at those videos, right? Those interviews that Ohm did. I was like, okay, there's at least the second one. There seems to be some stuff here, but the thing is, you're not giving enough to really draw that direct line.
Sorry, I gotta hop off. I gotta get ready for my stream. Guys,
there. Crow, I'll try to make it, but I need to get food first and all.
Bro, no, just like hop on, talk about the Kai stuff, and then just leave and go get food.
No, I wanna spend more time with you, Crow.
It takes you like 3 hours.
No, Crow, I miss you. Also, hop into Discord tonight if you can.
I will if you're on the stream and we can talk about the Kai stuff.
Yeah. I got to do my stuff first,
Yeah.
though.
Oh my god! All right,
Yeah,
bye.
we'll probably be wrapping this one soon as well.
Yeah.
But there's no direct line that ties all this stuff together. I mean, there is really at this point just the timing of stuff for sure, right? You look at it and it does seem suspicious. It's just like, okay, definitely something, that you raise your eyebrow at and really look into it. It's just like, the timing, it does seem kind of sus. This, that, or the other, and these are accounts that were said to have, been tied to him. So that is pretty interesting that all of a sudden, he's gone, they're gone. But again, unless you have that direct line to tie them all together, I mean, where something that shows beyond a shadow of a doubt, there's just like that it says, boom, this is this. But here's the other thing too, and I was thinking about this, right? If that were a thing, right, that there is that email that does exist out there, right? Would that be something that could be shared with another user on the platform? Because you would think that maybe, just maybe, there might be some, I don't know, legal ramifications for that, for sharing specific details.
Do you think?
On an investigation? Possibly. I mean, because the thing is, when you report on the app, right, and you report maybe through email, they'll tell you why an account is suspended at most. They'll tell you account was suspended for violating rules regarding harassment or regarding or rules regarding spam or whatever, right? But would they really get into details with you about anything else associated with that report that they found, right? Would they tell you, hey, we found that these all had the same, for example, that these all came from the same device, or these all came from the same IP address? Would they actually share that information with another user? I would think not, personally, that they would not provide those kind of details to another user that reported the account. Because I would think that you could potentially be on the hook for something there. You know what I mean? Now, as far as like just a blanket reason, right? Like I said, because if you report on Twitter, you'll notice on the app itself, like if an account gets yeeted, it'll tell you that it was yeeted. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this
and it'll tell you why
for violating the.
And that might be as far as it goes. What I'm saying is, would they really reveal any other really meticulous details regarding an investigation into an account? That's what I'd like to know, because that's interesting. Because I would think that would be, you might get into some territory there where it could be, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Zombie Fox says, found something weird about the Vixen account. She tweeted in a reply to Trevor. All I did was look up her name. That's what he said.
The Vixen account?
Yeah.
That'll be interesting to see. I mean, yeah, I don't know. That's this first time I've heard of this Vixen person. Like I said, I'm curious to see what happens there, because I would think that if she's like gonna drop something where she's gonna completely destroy this girl in a video, that it would be something juicier than a 6-year-old tweet. You know what I mean?
We'll see. I gotta go though, John. I gotta get food.
All right, man. Go ahead, man. Appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah, no problem.
Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see. What's the TL Optimus Prime? What the TLDR here is that it looks like Delirious's girlfriend is going to supposedly address why he was actually suspended in a video, but also kind of do some house cleaning. That's all we can kind of infer from the tweet that she put out. There's speculation. That's all there is. Speculation is abounding regarding this situation. I'm just curious as to the extent of what she'll be talking about is, right? Like how deep will she go into the suspension, right? Will she actually show anything? Maybe she will. Maybe she won't. I don't know. Maybe it'll just be kind of an afterthought. Maybe she'll just reiterate what we already know, right? Because we saw what Delirious said about it. He said, hey, it was due to spam crap. That's why I got deleted. Maybe she'll just repeat the same thing that he already said. Or maybe she'll provide something. She'll show like a screenshot of an email that he received. Or maybe she'll just get into details herself. I don't know. Whether or not she'll get into specifics, that's what I'm really curious about, because I would think we're probably not going to see anything, but I could be completely wrong, because up to this point, I mean, Delirious himself could have showed it, right? And like I said, I was in communication with him through email and asked him, and I didn't get a reply back. Like I said, take that for what you will. Maybe he just didn't see my response to the email. Maybe he just didn't see it. Maybe he missed it. I'm sure he gets a lot of emails, or maybe he did see it and just didn't care to respond to it. I don't know. So I can't say for certain. Maybe he does have proof of that. Maybe he's handling it through other means. I don't know. But like I said, all we could do is really speculate on all this. And like I said, I just find it weird that it seems like there's going to be that this situation is going to be addressed, but not by Delirious himself. I find that to be interesting, that it's going to be addressed by Liz, and not Delirious himself. And like I said, maybe he's just trying to keep his channel, drama free. He doesn't want these kind of videos on his channel. I'm not giving him a reason to remove my YouTube channel. I see Delirious in the chat. Hey man, hey, like I said before, man, you're always welcome to come on and clarify. So I guess since you're here, Delirious, and I don't expect you to come on. I mean, like I said, though the invite still stands, but I'll ask you. So why is Liz going to address this, and why aren't you addressing it on your channel? Just asking. You know what I mean? Or do you have a secondary channel that you plan on addressing it on, or what's the deal? I'm curious. Because I understand she's your significant other, but why is she addressing this situation? Why aren't you addressing it? Hopefully Delirious is still in the chat. You still here, Delirious? Come on, man. I'll give you a fair shake, man. I'm just interested in finding out the truth, whatever that might be. Fruitbeat says it should come from Delirious and not Liz. Yeah, you have people in here, man, that are wondering. They're wondering, man. Why isn't it coming from you? If she's gonna address your suspension and stuff, why don't you just address it? All right, so she looked into the people doing this and wants to talk about it, and also why my Twitter account was suspended, which I've sort of told people already. I mean, you ain't told me. I mean, you've told me stuff about Ohm, but you haven't shown me anything specifically. You haven't shown me anything specifically. I mean, if you got something that proves that you were yeeted off of Twitter because of some spam stuff, then you should have something to back it up, man. I mean, it should be easy. I mean, just take a screenshot of whatever you got from Twitter. You could just redact your Twitter contact's name or whoever sent you the email. Anything that is identifying information for the person that you've been in contact with, whether it be a rep or whatever. I mean, you could just redact it. I mean, I'm not asking you to dox anyone or to put anybody's job on the line. But I mean, it's pretty easy. I mean, it's the best way. I mean, look, the reason why we commentate about stuff like this, Delirious, is like I said, it's just we're about facts. Well, like I said, most of us that talk about stuff like this that want to be taken seriously when talking about stuff like this, we try to rely on facts and substantiated evidence when talking about it or giving a declarative statement on stuff. Well, that's good. I mean, maybe you should, man. I mean, can we expect some kind of evidence, with a statement to back up what you've been saying? Is there any word on when your account might be reinstated? Can you speak to that? Can you speak to the chat about that? Can you, So, well, if there's Let him do it at his own pace. So here's the thing, above all, when you make stuff public, people they're always going to ask for receipts. And the thing is, if you're handling stuff behind the scenes, whether it be through legal venues or whatnot, the best thing to do is just stay quiet and let it all play out. You know what I mean? But when you make it a point to come on to people's streams and their chats and talk about stuff like this, you're gonna be asked. You're gonna be asked about it. You know what I mean? It's totally natural. You know, people are gonna be curious. They're gonna ask questions. So, are Crow and you guys going to talk about William Oscan doxing a commenter? I don't even know who that is, Magnum Doinks, but I will ask Crow about it. William Oscan. I don't know who that is, but I will look into it. I will look into that for sure and see if Crow knows anything about it. But yeah, but this is what happens. Like when you take stuff publicly, that's what I'm saying. Like, and I've talked about this before, and I'm beating the dead horse yet again here. Like with the Ohm situation, Ohm claims that there's, you know, that stuff was going to the police, and that, you know, there's all kinds of stuff happening behind the scenes. And it's just like with stuff like that, it's usually best if that is true, right? If what he's saying is true, and there's some kind of legal, there's going to be some kind of legal repercussions for any of this. Usually the best thing to do is just let authorities handle stuff like that. Don't speak to it publicly. Don't draw attention to it. Certainly you don't want to sit there and tip off the person who is potentially going to be the subject of investigation, right? So you would think that you would be quiet and just let things play out. If something is happening, if something bad is happening, and it's something that can be proven through some kind of investigation, you know, that finds, like I said, substantiated evidence, then you just let it play out. Let it play out how it's going to play out. You know, instead of just running to Twitter or running to whatever social media platform that you use to be like, hey, see, there is something happening. And it's just like, okay, well, what's happening? Can you show me what's happening? Because you claim that there's something happening. So obviously you have something to show for it, right? Otherwise, why are you talking about it? And this is something I've said before in the past. There's a lot of things that I've known. There's a lot of things that I've heard from people when it comes to certain situations and things that I've covered before that I've never talked about them publicly, because I don't, just because I've heard about them or people have said, hey, here's this evidence, I want to show you this, whatever. If they don't have that to give to me, right, why am I going to talk about it publicly if I can't back it up with something I'm saying? And if it's going to be a situation where it's just pure speculation, then we're just going to say that, right? We're going to say it's pure speculation. We're not going to say anything definitive for it or, you know, against it if we just don't know. And that's where I'm at, right? I just don't know, right? I will say this, you know, the stuff that's been put out there, like I said, publicly right now, what we have to go on right now that's out in the public sphere is not enough. It's just not going to be enough to convince people. So that's all we could do is really just kind of, all right, well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see how things play out. If anybody is going to show receipts of what they claim to have, if they're going to debunk what the other side has said. I mean, you know, I believe facts and substantiated evidence more than anything else. So, I mean, in the last stream, we talked about the whole Del Harvey thing. And even in that stream, I said it repeatedly. That was all just pure speculation. We don't know for a fact. It seems a little suspicious, and it was just fun. I even said in that stream, hey, we're putting on our tinfoil hats today to see. Maybe this is what's going on. Maybe this Del Harvey person, as, you know, as one last act of trolling or whatever, maybe they did a favor for Ohm, you know, a la, you know, Godfather style, right? Who knows? But we don't know that for a fact. That's conspiracy. There's nothing to substantiate that, because even with the stuff that we saw with Del Harvey right in the past, you know, the stuff that Wang talked about in this video, that John Swan brought up in his video, that the guy lame ass Chris brought up in his video, that's just pure speculation still, because nobody's been able to prove that beyond a reasonable doubt either, that Del Harvey actually did abuse her power. That's just something that's suspected. That's it. And people can make of that what they will. But again, we don't know that for a fact. So it's just all pure speculation. Nobody can say definitively one way or the other. So, and where we're at with this right now, right? Him thanking her and then deleting the tweet does make it. Oh, for sure. I don't disagree with that, Zana, that it does make it suspicious, but it doesn't prove anything either. It doesn't prove that, he was in cahoots. And, he probably, it's possible that he deleted the tweet because he didn't want people to think that that was his contact at Twitter. Because like I said, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't, or maybe he was trying to make sure that she wouldn't be spammed or harassed, right, by people. And that's why he deleted the tweet to her, because he thought, oh, wait, people are going to see that this is a person that works at Twitter, and had a high position at Twitter. So let me delete this before people start messing with this person. But as we saw, as I showed, he obviously had interacted with Del Harvey on Twitter before. Now, Del Harvey never responded to any of the stuff that he had said publicly, right? When he tagged her in previous tweets, and then when he tagged the head of Twitter, global head of Twitter gaming, right? So again, that's always just going to be speculation. We don't know that they actually ever talked in DMs or an email or anything like that, unless he brings something out, unless he shows something, right, that says otherwise. Again, it's just going to be pure speculation. People are just going to assume that. And again, we're not any closer to the truth, So, but I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the stream here. Appreciate you all. Appreciate you all hanging out here tonight. Like I said, I guess we'll have to wait and see what this video that Liz is going to put out is about. And if Delirious, if you're in the chat here, man, I said you could always email me. I sent you an email last time, you didn't respond. If you got anything that you want to show, or any more light that you could shed on the situation, please feel free. Please feel free to do so. But I'll do a follow-up stream on whatever Liz puts out there. And if Delirious himself puts out any statement or any evidence, of course, we'll talk about that too. And like I said, door's always open. He's always welcome to come on. Like I said, if he wants to talk. So that's his prerogative, but we'll just leave it at that. But I appreciate y'all joining me tonight. Zombie, thank you so much. You are the stream daddy, as always. Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you very much. Appreciate you all in the chat for joining me. I know this was another impromptu stream. I'll try to announce it a little bit earlier for the next one. Might be going over some of the Pastel Bell Repzilla stuff with Willie Mack again. Willie did a phenomenal video that I want to go over, and I'll probably be doing that later this week. So we'll wait and see. Thank you, Stan. Appreciate that. But you all have a wonderful night, and we'll do this again soon. Y'all take care.